Hello again, Employer Technicals is back with another stock, Altimmune, and I'm gonna tell you why I feel this stock has the potential to go all the way from what it is now to about, let's say, about $70, right? That is like my long-term target for this stock. I mean, I've been in this stock for a while now, and I'm still in it. And even though we have some downtrend here, I'm going to tell you the reason why I still consider it to be bullish. Okay, so a brief background on Altimmune, the bio health stock. They have some products in the pipeline. They were initially working on COVID vaccine, and then I think they did take that off the table because they didn't get the result they were expecting in the clinical trials. But that being said, if you know how I roll, I mostly focus on the technicals. I mean, I do follow the fundamentals, but I like the technicals determine my trades. In this chart, we do have a triangle, a cup and handle, an inside bar fakie, and also a Fibonacci retracement. So bear with me, I'm bringing everything together and how this all combined to be a bullish view. Let's start with a Fibonacci retracement, right? I'm going to try it from here. It seems like if you look closely, then you'll see that this move that started all the way in February, right? February to July of 2020 has a retracement to the 78% point of the Fibonacci, which is somewhere here. Again, it's now testing that area and is rejecting it, right? So from a Fibonacci point of view, after the first swing up, we've had it pull back to the 78 point, right? I'm going to just pull this here. Now I can take up the Fibonacci. Right, so we see that happening. At first, initially I thought this was where it was going to take off. But it seems it went back to test it and it's taking off from there again. The next thing you want to do, I'm going to go down to the weekly. We'll see this a little bit better in the weekly. Put it somewhere here. And we do have a triangle. Take this off. Say I try the first one from somewhere here. Again, different people draw different triangles in a way, but I try to make sure all points are touching. And if they're not, then probably not a triangle for me, right? Okay. And this is one, and the other side of the triangle will be this. Alright, let me just close this up. Then with this, right, what we see here is a breakout. And I think this is the week when they pulled the COVID-19 vaccine from the pipeline, and this happened, right? And what we have here is like going back to test the bottom of the triangle, and I mean, technically what you expect to happen here is price to go all the way down, right? It's kind of contradictory to what I'm saying from a bullish point of view, but bear with me. If that were to happen, so look at how this week is going to close, which is very important, or next week, or the end of the month, right? If that were to happen here, you're going to see a kind of big rejection of this candle going back down all the way. So if you see a rejection, of course, by all means, then it's going to change from a bullish point of view to bearish, right? You know, but if we see this closing back into this triangle, then this is a bear trap. Is a fake breakout. And if you know anything about fake breakouts, when they happen, it always goes back in the other direction, and it goes back forcefully, right? So potentially it could be a fake breakout, or it could be trend continuation. You know, someone else could draw this trend line like this, calling this point 1, point 2, and saying, oh, we already have a fake breakout. But again, you have to be very careful, right? You want to make sure all points are touching. So, you know, we have point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. Then, yeah, we're testing the bottom there. All right, so we have the Fibonacci out of the way. We have the triangle out of the way. I think the next thing I did mention was, yeah, I think there was an inside bar. Well, let's go back to the monthly. And look at this mother bar. This very big one right here. Let's bring a rectangle. Gonna try and do this like this. Okay. Right. So I'll try to put the rectangle on the top, on the high and the lows of the mother bar. And we have this inside bar for August, September, October, and November, right? You look at this rejection. It went all the way out of the orange box and pushed itself back in. And the red line is the 78 retracement point. The purple lines are the triangles, and the box is the inside bar fakie. So this was a rejection that happened in November, and we're forming a triangle inside that. So I'll take out the inside bar for now, just to keep my chart clear. I mean, I like to do that. And last but not the least, like, let's see. And for those that know already have an idea of what is happening here, you can see this weak, this rejection. So first of all, that's a strong support area, right? I'll give this, as you can see, price went back there in July and rejected it. Already you can see a cup and handle, right? So this is a cup, and this is a handle. Again, a cup and a handle. You know, take a step back, think about this. If this is the handle of this cup, right, and we're seeing this happening here, like a fake breakout, showing the trend is going to keep going up above this triangle and back to the top of this cup. If you understand cup and handles, you know that for a cup and handle, the length of the bottom of the cup to the top of the cup is the same as the target for that particular cup. So in this case, I'll just say the bottom of the cup is, I'll take a horizontal line, or the bottom of the cup is somewhere, let's say 1.6. Call it 1 just for easy calculations. Now let's take this down a little bit. So if that's 1, the top of the cup is 35, right? Meaning that is a 35, point distance, or 34. Meaning to add 35 to 35, it's going to be somewhere around 70. So the next target, if that is a cup and handle there, it's going to be this. Again, now you see why I say why I feel that Altimmune has the potential to go from what it is right now all the way to somewhere around here. Again, another thing you should look at is this. If you know, if you've been doing technicals for a while, you know that whenever you have a lot of red candles and you have a different color, like green, that area is an area of confluence. The support is a resistance, depending on how you see it. And again, if it was also green or going up and you have red, so you have multiple green candles like 6, 7, 8, and you have only one red in between, that area is a support area, especially on a higher time frame, like a monthly time frame. To put that into perspective, I'm going to change this to a line chart, and you can see all the way down to this area, right? Now, we do have a, okay, just leave that for now, put it back in candlestick. So let me take this off, come back to horizontal lines, put this back in line, put this in, let's say blue, and reduce the point, yeah. So for clarity, it's getting a little bit messy, right? So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this off also. I'm going to take this off. Yeah, back to how I like it. I'll leave this at 70 thereabout. So with Altimmune, right, you could probably wait. By no means am I saying you should jump into this trade. Like I always say in my videos, you don't have to trade it. It's not a trading advice. You can just watch it and see if it plays out. Right, you can sit on the sidelines, right? Doing nothing is actually doing something. So but for me, right, if I see this confirmation breaking back into this, it just solidified that this is a false break. Something that will make it so clear if it was to break above this and the 17 or $18 area, then I know it's heading back to 35. Again, then I start looking at the cup and handle target. This is a strong support, and if we were to break that, then I'll say, well, we're going to complete the cup and handle pattern. First is the rejection of the Fibonacci 78% area. The second was the inside bar fakie. The third, now we have a triangle that was being broken out because of the news of the COVID vaccine that was scrapped out. And now it's going back in for fakie. Again, watch out if this forms a weak, a rejection of this place and goes all the way down, then it will be bearish in my view. And after that, the fourth is the cup and handle. So that's the longer term picture. If you go to the daily, I don't look at the daily that much. I let the monthly and the weekly guide me. And that is it for now for me from Altimmune. Feel free to check out my other videos. And as always, take care of yourself. Bye.